Hello students, welcome once more to online video class for class 8 computer studies. In the last video, we had started the chapter network. In that we had discussed what is a network, why we need network and what is networking. To continue in the same chapter, we have other topics. So today we are starting a new topic in the same chapter network, that is components of a network. It means to create a network which things are required, which things play a part in a network. So we will discuss what are the components of a network and what are the components of a computer network. See, computer network is different from a network. Computer network is a part of network. Network is a broad topic. And one more thing we will study, what is a modem, which plays a part in computer network. So without wasting the time, first we will discuss what is a component which plays a part in a network. Before starting the component of a computer network, first we will discuss about component of a network. Imagine two persons are talking with each other face to face. In that case, one person is the speaker, second person is the listener or receiver. So speaker is also known as sender of information and listener is known as receiver of information. So for two persons to communicate with each other, we know that communication is only possible when sender is present, receiver is present. But one more thing plays a important role. In the absence of that, communication is not possible. So the third component, when two persons are talking with each other, is known as the medium through which voice can travel from sender to receiver. So in our daily communication with each other, what is the medium in that case? Actually, the air is the medium through which our voice travels from speaker to listener. So air will become the medium, or we can say it is also a communication channel. So these three things play a part when two persons talk with each other. Sender means speaker, receiver means listener, and the medium through which voice signals will travel from sender to receiver. So these are the three components. But when we talk about a computer network, before going to the computer network, we will see one more example of communication done over a telephone line. Means when two persons talk with each other on telephone or mobile phone. In that case, again sender is required, means the speaker. Receiver is required, who is the listener, and communication channel in that case will become the cable or wire through which sound signals travels from sender to receiver when they are talking with each other over telephone. Many of you would not be comfortable with the telephone. Nowadays you are familiar with mobile phones. But a few years ago, when mobile phones were not present, that time telephone was the equipment through which people used to talk with each other. So in case of telephone, sender and receiver is clear to you, and the cable through which voice will travel, that will become the communication channel. But two more things are required when communication is done over a telephone. So two more things are equipment at the sender's end, that is telephone used by sender, and equipment at receiver's end. Receiver is also using a telephone. In this figure you can see two persons are using telephone for talking with each other. So in this case, the number of components will change from 3 to 5. Three components are required when two persons are talking with each other face to face. That we have discussed a few minutes ago. But when two persons are talking with each other over a telephone line, then the previous three things will be required. That is, sender is required, receiver is required, communication channel is required, that is the telephone line or telephone cable. But apart from these three things, two more things are required. Sender needs a telephone device, receiver also needs a telephone equipment, or we can say a device. So total 5 components are required in this case. Now why these 5 things are required? The reason is, when sender speaks, then the voice signals are signals which cannot travel through the telephone line. So the data that can travel through that telephone line is converted using that equipment, which is telephone. So when sender is speaking over telephone, his or her voice will change to a signal that can be traveled through the telephone wire or telephone line. When that signal is received at the receiver's end, receiver, that is the person who is listening, receiver can understand the voice signals, but the signals that are going through the telephone wire is not voice signal, that is different type of signal. So that signal is converted to voice signal by the equipment used by receiver at the receiving end. Then that voice can be understood by the receiver. Now once more I will explain all these 5 components when two persons are talking with each other over a telephone line. The person who speaks is known as sender or sender of information. Sender is using a equipment that is known as telephone. That telephone will change the voice signals into a signal that can be traveled through the telephone line or cable, telephone cable. Now, at the receiver's end, the data traveled through the telephone cable cannot be understood by the listener. That is why listener is also using a device or component which is another telephone. That receiver's telephone will change the signals again into voice signals that can be understood by the receiver. I think it will be clear to you now. So we have discussed two types of components. When two persons are talking with each other, then three components are required: sender, receiver, and air. Air behaves as communication channel. But when two persons are talking over telephone line, then five components are required. That is sender, receiver, communication channel will be same as the telephone line. But two more things are required: telephone at the sender's end and telephone at the receiver's end. So five components are required. Now we will discuss about computer network. In case of computer network, when two computers are connected with each other using a cable, in that case there are only three components playing part in a computer network. That is sender computer, receiver's computer, and the communication channel, that is cable. Network I have already told you in the previous video. Let us discuss once more what is a network. A computer network is a interconnection of many computers together to share information and resources. Information requires data which can be in the form of text data, audio data, video data, picture files, or anything else. Sharing data and resources. Resources means when two computers are connected with each other in a network, then resource can be a printer. A printer can be shared among all the computers. So if you have 10 computers connected with each other, then in that network we don't need 10 printers installed with all the 10 computers. Only one printer is enough that can be installed with any one system, and that printer can be shared among all the other computers. So that is the advantage of network. We can save a lot of money by using only a single printer rather than 10 printers. Now, again coming to the point of computer network, when two computers are connected with each other, two or more computers, through the cable, then we have only three components: sender computer, receiver's computer, and the communication channel, that is a cable. Now we will discuss another scenario. Yes. When we are working on internet and when computers are connected with each other to share information and data, in that case five components are required: sender computer, modem at the sender end, communication channel, that is telephone cable, receiver equipment, that is another modem installed at receiver's end, and the receiver computer. So 5 components are required. What is modem here? Modem is a device which converts digital signals into analog signals and analog signals into digital signals. So when sender computer sends any type of data, data can be in the form of text message, picture message, audio signal or video file. Computer understands only the digital signals. But when this data we have to transfer from one system to another system, and the communication channel through which that data will travel, that communication channel can be wired or wireless. So in case of computers, when they are connected with wires, that is the example of broadband connection. So whenever you install a broadband connection at your home, then the company which gives you broadband connection, they will provide a modem. That modem will be connected to your computer. The reason of modem is computer understands digital signals, but the communication channel through which your files or data will travel from your computer to the receiver computer, that communication channel needs only analog signals. Digital signal cannot be passed through that communication channel. This is the reason we need a device connected to your computer that can convert the digital signal that are coming from your system to analog signal, so that analog signal can travel through that communication channel. Now, sender computer, I have told, the computer which sends a data. So the data coming out from the computer, sender computer, will be in the form of digital signals. But that digital signal cannot travel through the communication channel or wire, or it can be wireless also. When we are sending the files using our mobile phones, then mobile phone at sender's end behaves as sender, and the air through which radio waves travel behaves as communication channel, and the mobile phone at the receiver's end will behave as receiver. But again, the problem is mobile phone is also a type of computer that can understand only digital signals. But the air through which our data will travel, that channel requires analog signals. So that is the reason we need modem, which converts the digital signals coming from our mobile phone to the analog signal, so that it can travel through the air or communication channel. So where is the modem in case we are transferring data from mobile phone? Actually, our mobile phone has inbuilt modem in the device itself. We cannot see from outside, but it is inbuilt. So again, 5 components are required: mobile phone, and modem. Inside that, two components: communication channel, that is the air through which signals travel. Now the mobile phone at the receiver's end will behave as receiver computer, and that receiver's mobile also has a modem inbuilt. So that is the fifth component. So whether we transfer data from one computer to another computer using a computer network, or internet is an example of a computer network, or we can transfer data from our mobile phone to another mobile phone. In that case also we need communication channel. In that communication channel will behave as a air. Air will behave as communication channel. And when we are using broadband connection, then we are using cable modems. Through the cable, the signals travel from our system to the receiver's computer. And using mobile phone, we are using wireless communication channel. So communication channel can be wired or it can be wireless. But in both the cases, signals travel through the communication channel only in the form of analog signals. And the computer or mobile phones, they understand only the digital signals. This is the reason we need a modem to convert the data from computer or mobile phone to be converted into analog signals, and that will be done by modem. So modem is a device which performs two tasks. It converts digital signals into analog signals and analog signals into digital signals. When you see modem, first two letters MO, it is the short form of modulator, and the last three characters DEM, it is the short form of demodulator. So first two characters MO, that is modulator, its work is to convert digital signals to analog signals, and the last three characters demodulator, it does the reverse work, that is it converts analog signals into digital signals. So when two computers are connected in a network and the sender computer sends a data to the receiver's computer, we know that computers understand only digital signals. So that digital signal cannot travel through the communication channel. That communication channel can be wired or wireless. That is why we need a modem. So that modem is connected with our computer at the sender's end. So the role of that modem is to convert digital signals coming out from the computer into analog signals so that it can travel through the communication channel. Now, three things we have seen in this network: sender computer, modem at sender's end, and communication channel. Now, when data is received at the receiver's end, Receiver computer only understands digital signals, but the data which is received is in the form of analog signal. That is why at the receiver's end, again one modem is installed or connected. So that modem will do the reverse part. The analog signals coming out from the communication channel will be converted into digital signals, and that digital signals will be going inside the computer at the receiver's end so that computer can understand it. So modem is required when one computer sends data to another computer inside a computer network or internet. So that was our topic. One more thing, modem transmits data at different speeds, and that speed is measured by BPS, that is bits per second. Some modems sends data at a speed of 8 megabits per second or 50 megabits per second. Now, if you are having a broadband connection that is provided by cable operators, they provide very high speed. That speed can be in the range of more than 1 gigabits per second, GBps. Here GBps does not mean that gigabyte per second. Actually it is gigabits per second. kbps means kilobits per second. mbps means megabits per second. When you are using your mobile phone, when the speed is shown on the mobile screen, sometimes it is shown in kbps, sometimes in mbps. So kbps does not mean kilobytes per second. mbps does not mean megabyte per second. Actually it is bps, that is bits per second. So mbps means megabits per second. So what is byte and bit? This is the relationship between byte and bit. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Bit is the smallest unit of data. Byte is the larger than bit. Now KB, kilobyte, 1 kilobyte has 1024 byte. To understand byte practically, it is 1 byte is equivalent to a single character that is typed. Suppose I have typed small s. Small s requires 1 byte of data. So in a page, suppose one line has 50 characters and one page has 20 lines. So how many total characters will be there? 50 into 20, when you multiply, you will get 1000. 1000 character. Approximately one character requires 1 byte. So 1000 character means one page requires 1 KB, means 1 kilobyte. So if a book has 1000 pages, one page requires 1 KB, so 1000 pages, it is approximately 1 megabyte. Text data needs very less amount of memory. Audio and video data takes more amount of memory. Now gigabyte is larger than megabyte and terabyte is larger than sorry, it is GB here. 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabyte. So these are the units. I hope you would have understood what is the components of computer network, why modem is used, and what are the speed of modems, and what are these bits and bytes relationship. Revise your topic. Thank you.